Yes, people, Never a Foul is back with a trio, and you're gonna get used to this on the evening. But
there's 4 people on the show, Cass.
Yeah, but well, they're not hearing it, so what can we say in it? It will be Welks. He wants to join in. He's the one that actually sparked this a little bit earlier with about the project, and we thought, oh, I think I might use that for later. And then Daps actually
Don sparked this. Don sparked this.
Yeah, technically
9 months ago, bro.
Yeah, Greasy, yeah, he technically sparked this about 12 months ago, 11 months ago. And then him and Monts had actually a crazy spat about it, which was kind of funny. It went on for about nearly a week or two, to be fair. And then
still going on now. Monts never forgets nothing.
Monts is an elephant, technically, isn't it? But yeah, we're going to be debating if Chelsea or Liverpool have the more appealing project. That could be on a football standard, that can mean on a money standard, that can mean on all different sorts of standards that you have to take into account. And yeah, and some of it might be one of those targets where they battle it out. But we spoke about that a little bit earlier. But yeah, man, Monts, Liverpool, man, what, like, bro, you know what? Yeah, Michael Edwards is a serious guy to take over as a CEO, right? Maybe we only know him from a director of football standpoint, but maybe not as a CEO standpoint, right? Are you more optimistic now than you was a year ago, considering the position you was in, obviously?
Well, as in
because all right, think about it. You got a worse manager, no matter what, right? In Klopp, but you had a worse direction of football basically when it came to probably transfers that you're used to. But now you flip that on his head. Now your board is increased, probably more than likely to be in a better suit. Then obviously, where you look at the managing standpoint, you just don't know what you're going to grab, or what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, I think as a from a board standpoint, they've definitely improved. We just regressed in the manager, but I feel like for the board to come in with Michael Edwards, Julian Ward, Richard Hughes, and etc., Klopp probably had to leave anyway. I don't think any of them was going to work in tandem since maybe back in 2018, 2017. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like now Liverpool are not in as bad a position as everyone says we are. I think if we manage to keep our players, I don't think we're like, oh my God, we're going to fall off the face of the planet. I do think there's going to be a regression in it. If you think Liverpool are not going to regress, then I generally think there's a little bit of delusion in there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty around the players. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty about the system. If especially the guys that have been here, the so-called world-class players that have been here for so long, those guys are going to be playing in a complete new system. And these guys have been here 5-6 years. And I'm not saying Klopp's system has never changed, but it has tweaked. But there's never, it's not like, it's, you kind of know what I'm saying, guys? It's not, the system has never gone, all right, it's now this. It's kind of like had little changes here and there.
Not even just system, it's being managed by a different personality, isn't it? It's like, like, it's new. The relationship's new. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, this is where we spoke on this before. Dutch, you have to be used to them. You have to be used to the way Dutch people communicate. Like, they're very... In fact, do you know what I'm going to say? It's not even Dutch. English, as an example.
Yeah.
Like, you ever get a message, and you get a message, and you read it, and you add a tone that isn't there. Or someone asks you a question, like, Soups and Cass are brilliant with this. Like, Soups in particular. He'll ask a question, and I'll get my back up thinking, why are you fucking me asking the question? He's just asking the question because he wants to know, well, what's happened there?
Just more confirmation of the Chelsea stuff. Just more confirmation.
But so, I feel like with Dutch people sometimes, they can be taken the wrong way. Like, you could be taken as arrogant and this. And it's not just Dutch, it's anyone. It's new communication. All these players, like, you know, the first time he is in that dressing room, he's going to piss someone off, and he's not going to mean to piss someone off. He's just going to say something. Someone's going to take it the wrong way. And so there's that as well. There's all these new things. I mean, and that happens at every single football club. There's new, somehow someone's going to become his golden boy, somehow. Just he's going to like them the first time. And there's all of that. But I think long term, this is good for Liverpool football. I think this is what we're going to need in a year's time, like when Pep goes, in it, because no manager stays somewhere forever, right? A board often stays somewhere a lot longer than a manager. So I do think having the right board long term is what Liverpool need now. Do you know what I mean? Like having Klopp, because having Klopp's only going to last, as having Pep is only going to last a certain amount of time. Now you've got a board in, and probably at the right time, especially with Mo Salah potentially leaving and a few of maybe your prime players coming of age, you need your Edwards there. You need that next group of players to come through. And I think it's fair to say that with Klopp, I know, Monts, you weren't overly keen on his signings, were you? Like, while he was making the signings himself.
Yeah, this is it. Like, I feel like when the signings were more based on Jurgen Klopp himself, I just feel like not all. By the way, not all of the signings.
Not all of them.
I think some of them worked out quite well, but some of the ones
McAllister is an example. Is a good signing.
Yeah, good signing. That's what I mean. If you look at maybe like the Nunes signing that he kind of pushed for, question marks for me, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Big question marks over a signing like that. I think even though Cody Gakpo seems to be finding his way, he was never really suited to the system unless he was playing left wing, a position that we didn't really need help in because we had Luis Diaz there. You know what I'm saying?
Luis Diaz. Was Luis Diaz that was a Jurgen signing, wasn't it?
So he came in 2022, innit? January 2022.
He came in January, yeah.
January 2022. Was he a Klopp signing?
Luis Diaz.
I think he was a good signing, by the way. I'm just going to say that now. I know maybe this
was that a Julian Ward signing?
Might be the Julian Ward, but Edwards are gone.
No, Edwards are gone.
Edwards are gone. Edwards are gone, but it might have been a Julian Ward signing. But I think Diaz was a good. I think Diaz was a good signing. I know maybe this season is had his big.
He helped us push on
that season. Yeah, 100%.
Try and challenge for the league that season because Mane was really struggling and then had to go up front. People forget that.
I think for the final, I think that final, as far as forward players, that final kind of like, well, from January onwards that season, he was probably your best player, wasn't he? Definitely your best forward player.
Is that when you tried to change it? You tried to change it when Mane went up front, Diaz on the left, and Salah on the right. Yeah. That was the
Mane left wing, bro. It wasn't looking good, man. Like the whole, like up until about Christmas, he was really. Remember he had a bad season before that, and then he started the season again. And then what he did was he moved Mane up top. Firmino had loads of injury issues.
Yeah, loads.
Moved Mane up top, and it just clicked. It just like Diaz, Mane, Salah, it just clicked. So
is that Firmino's last season?
No, the season after.
No, that's one more after that.
Yeah, season after that. So yeah, like I feel like I think it was they're saying it was a Ward signing. So yeah, I was right. I think it was a Julian Ward signing that. So,
and then it was the summer after that.
He was meant to go. He was meant to go
Tottenham and said, "I'm involved in."
He was meant to go Tottenham. Imagine
he was meant to go Tottenham. Yeah. So this is what I mean. So I feel like the Klopp signings for me, I feel like maybe I don't mind Klopp having an input on the signings, but I feel like the final say being done by the board was ultimately when Liverpool worked at its peak when it came to signings. Ultimately, so what? Like it's not Klopp wasn't disregarded and the yes man. He had a say, but ultimately Edwards were going, and I think that's where the clash happened.
I always say this. I think that's something you can look at. Like Klopp, there's no doubt that Klopp was I'll say world-class manager. Klopp's up there with managers, yeah. But as far as to get the best out of Klopp for Liverpool, you needed Klopp and Edwards. Same with City. It probably is Pep and Tiki together. With Man United, it was Fergie and Gill together. And then at Arsenal, it was probably Wenger and someone in the chat will know. There was the same one. But it's when you're, the guy in charge of the signings, the guy and your manager are working on the same page and they're both elites. That's when greatness happens, I feel.
See, this is where you look towards. I look at Chelsea, and you know what? Ches brought some good points as well, which I did think about in a way, right? Chelsea have had 2 years to learn, right? And to sack someone like Poch at this point, and then appoint someone who's younger, who might be a little bit more tactically aware, you could say, on a 5-year deal, you could maybe say in hindsight, again, it's all about hindsight, by the way. This is nothing, there's no factual.
5-year deal again.
It's a 5-year deal.
5
Like
year
a Graham
sentence.
Potter situation. Is that they might have got something right here in terms of
Yeah,
that.
but they're also getting something wrong. They forget, like, what is this thing with managers on 5-year deals is just wild.
I don't understand that.
Especially if you're Chelsea. Like, if someone not turned around to you and said, Todd, you ain't keeping in 5 years, bro. You're not keeping in 5 years, Todd. We just we know enough about you now to know. Give him a 2 at best.
I'm surprised not an 8-year contract. But anyways, I'm not even here to even slander Chelsea, right? I'm trying to actually look at it in a way where,
but
you know what,
5 years on a manager. Does anyone like?
Nah.
I don't know. Like, I know with City, I think it's usually, I think Pep's original was a 3-year, and sometimes he signs 1.5 or 2-year contract extensions. Do any of your clubs do 5-year on manager? Is that a thing?
I can't remember the last time a 5. I remember David Moyes getting a 5-year deal, a 6-year deal even, and that was
usually managers get a lot less than players, don't they? They get like a 2-3 year deal.
Yeah, something along those lines. But yeah, see with Chelsea, and then why you can compare it a little bit to Liverpool right now. It's not because of the structure or anything like that. There's positives to Chelsea in terms of when you look at player for player, right, and how young the squad is long term as well at this moment of time. Right, you could probably point your finger to say Chelsea, look, they've got Caicedo up and coming. They've won 2 battles against Liverpool already in terms of Lavia and then Caicedo, which both teams did want to fling money at that point, right? And you look at Chelsea and their progression in the last how long as well in terms of from 2024. Palmer, you're going to play. It's true what Ches said. You're going to play with Palmer. You're going to play with a few ballers. I'm not saying you're not going to go play with ballers at Liverpool, but how long are those ballers going to stay around for as well? Like, you still get the chance to play with the Salahs. You still get to play with Van Dijk, Alisson. You get to play with actual recent rich history. That's obviously they've obviously deserved at the same time. And at that notice, and when it comes down to money, if 2 teams does come down to it, this is what football has become. Sometimes it's not even about what the club is at this moment of time. To really sell off something, it is how much money can you fling it in. That's probably the sort of players you don't want, but that's the world we live in, unfortunately.
Do you know another thing that I think doesn't get spoke about enough in which project is the better one to go for?
And London.
Who else in your position is there? Like, ultimately, like, if you're a right back right now, I don't know if you'd see Liverpool as the best project for you, because they've got Trent there and they've got their young buck coming up. So you'll be like, do you know what? Yeah, potentially I'm going to be 3rd in the pecking order here. Whereas if you're a left back, you might be going, you know what? Robertson's coming of age a bit, maybe. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, and again, if you're looking to go Chelsea and you're a right winger who can maybe play in the middle, you'll be going, yeah, I ain't going there. Whereas if Liverpool come in for you, you'd be going, you know what, Salah might be leaving, so yeah, I'm going for that. I think that's a massive thing. And you know, I always think if I was Lavia or if I was Lavia, I would have gone Liverpool. I mean, in hindsight, it's a beautiful thing. But if I was Lavia, I would have gone Liverpool, 100%, because you know, Fabinho had gone before they were after Lavia before Enzo had been signed. Endo, sorry, had been signed, not Enzo. I would have gone Liverpool because I'd be thinking they need a 6 and I can do the 6 role. Me personally, I would have chose Liverpool. Whereas at Chelsea, I think, well, you know, Caicedo's.
I think Lavia got pissed off with Liverpool. Do you remember they were fannying around with the money, how much money
Caicedo more than him.
Yeah, was it? They wanted 50 million and they would only put down 42, or was it? Did they want 60 million?
Yeah, we were like edging things up by 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. But Chelsea Chelsea did a little bit.
Then you went in for Caicedo after. Think about it though.
Chelsea were, because Chelsea were in for Who was it? Chelsea were in. Who was it? Chelsea were in for. Wasn't it initially? Chelsea were in, no, one of them. Liverpool were more on one.
Lavia.
Chelsea were more on and Chelsea were more on Caicedo. Then Liverpool thought, "Fuck this, we're going for Caicedo." And then Chelsea threw their toys out the pram and said, "Fuck you, we're going to have both."
I think Liverpool. I think what people forget was the reason Liverpool didn't go for Caicedo at the time we were looking at Lavia is because we didn't have the funds to go for Caicedo. But once Henderson decided to leave and Fabinho decided to leave, all of a sudden those funds became available. So
when you deep
later on in the but that is probably, and also, but when Caicedo also said that he wanted to be loyal to the fact that Chelsea had been chasing him and pursuing him, and Liverpool kind of just came in last minute with a huge humongous bid. You know what I'm saying? And he said he agreed to stay loyal to the team that was putting in the work to sign him in the long run. And I feel like that's why I'm not on, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's absolutely, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a valid reason to go to Chelsea, because
if you're Lavia though, if you're a player, even just as on a human element, you've been getting chased by this club, and then all of a sudden funds come available, and then you go for another player, you're gonna be like, what? Clearly, they don't want me that much.
I do think there is an element of that. I've been saying the same about Bernardo Silva, that, you know, obviously everyone knows Barcelona apparently want Bernardo Silva. Last summer they said 90 million was too much, and he probably would have thought, well, personally, I think the way I've been playing, or 80 million, whatever it was, way I've been playing, I'm worth that. Now he's got a 50 million release clause. Barcelona have come out and gone, now we think 50 million is too much. If you're a player, at some point you're going to go, do you not really rate me? Or actually, are you just trying to play games with the club that I play for? But I do think there is an element of that. It probably depends on the player and the agent and how sensitive they are, I guess. But I don't know. I think if I was Lavia looking at the two last summer, hindsight's a good thing, because Liverpool would have fucking got 30 minutes out of him. But I would have picked Liverpool because it was a no-brainer. They needed a 6, and he can do the 6 role. Whereas at Chelsea, straight away, you're going into somewhere where
can you imagine
Caicedo can do the 6 role, so it's a bit of competition. Huh?
Can you imagine Lavia and McAllister together? That would have been disgusting.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I'm saying, bro.
But that's saying Lavia hasn't kicked a ball for Chelsea. So in hindsight,
bro, you got a touch.
Yeah, like for us, imagine we put 60 million down for Lavia.
And let me put this out there.
And we didn't get Endo even, and we don't get Endo.
Lavia next season.
Can we be real?
I don't know how many. Look, I keep saying this. Lavia's last season at City, he didn't play too much for our youth team, and then we got some injuries at Southampton. So I think Lavia's. I'm intrigued to see what happens with Lavia next season, man. Very intrigued.
Quick one. There's over 200 people in the house, but there's not even 50 likes. That's a struggle. That's a struggle mill. It's like you lot are living about 20 years ago, and you're using corned beef and rice when it used to be about £1 a can. So is it corned beef and rice, or are you going to upgrade? So are you liking this video or you're not? Yeah, I know it's a struggle mill. 50 likes. What's that? You know what I mean? I feel like people could be, a little bit more generous to us. But,
come on, summer months, people. With summer months, listen, right now, we're in a situation, where the season is pretty much over. I know there's a game on Saturday. Season's over. Transfer window ain't opened yet. And listen, we are not putting 115 in our title, so give us some credit, okay? We're trying to find something to talk about that isn't the same as everyone else. So come on, man. Smash a like for us. We need it. It helps the channel.
Yeah, I was going to say this, though. I ain't going to lie to you, Monch, yeah. Endo, let's be real. Man had a purple patch in it. Like, I hear it, man, but I'm not gonna lie to myself. I liked what I saw in it, but in the end, I just saw what I needed to really know. In my opinion, it's not even like last match type beat or anything like that. If you wouldn't have got Endo, I don't know how much of a miss that really is. I ain't gonna be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him even kick on later, like in the summer.
What is it? Move?
I think, you can
I think Liverpool will be out in the market for 6 again this summer. I don't think anyone, you know what, even though when he had that good period, Liverpool fans were talking, not
50
all,
million
some Liverpool fans. Bro, I don't think I overly heard Liverpool fans saying, this guy's the real deal, we're going to be keeping him for the next 5 years.
Until
I think
January.
Liverpool will be out there for a 6. I think they'll be out there.
I think we're pleasantly surprised with what he provided. I think he definitely exceeded expectations by far. Yeah. And I think for me, I always said this. I said, listen, Endo's doing really well for Liverpool. I think he's changed a lot of minds, including mine. However, is he going to win you a league? No. Is he a Declan Rice? Is he a Rodri? No, he's not. So I still feel that there needs to be a core upgrade there. He's older than Declan Rice, he's older than Rodri, but he's clearly not as good as them. So I think this was always going to be a stopgap signing. I think it was just a stopgap signing that managed to surprise
Definitely
what
was.
they actually did. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
There's
probably nothing. And when, at that point, what was really on the market at the same time as well, especially for the money, anyways. 15, was it 12 or 15? It's chump change at the end of the day.
I tell you, I'll give you a great example. Who had a better season? Let's ignore trophies. Let's not do the because his team won this and
Carabao.
that. No, or the Premier League. Yeah, let's forget the trophies. The teams they played for won. Who had a better season, Endo or Nunes for City?
Endo.
Exactly. There we go. So, and how much should we pay for Nunes, and how much do they pay for Endo?
Well, yeah, I think you got paid 50
Yeah.
months.
How much you pay for Endo?
15.
Like 15.
There we go.
Well.
There we go. So it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones. Like I think Endo again. Like it was a good.
But you could also say that Nunes' ceiling is light years ahead of Endo.
Well, I'll wait till I see him hit.
Endo's on this side of his career.
I hear you, but until I see Nunes hit those ceilings,
it's hypotheticals, isn't it? Hypotheticals.
Yeah. Right, like right now, I'd be weary going into next season if we don't strengthen in certain positions and we're going, it's cool, we got Nunes. I'll be honest with you. Whereas the same as probably you are with Endo, that you're going, no, we need to improve on Endo. I'm saying the same on Nunes. The difference is, you paid 15, we paid 50. So on that one, that was for me with City last season, that was a signing that I think we got wrong. I think the other three did a job. I don't think he did.
So
what do you reckon? What do you, in terms of positions as well, then ones? What do you reckon Liverpool? Like, what is the priorities for?
It's definitely not one priority. It is priorities. I think that left-sided centre back is a priority. Left back is priority. We need a 6 absolute priority, and I think we need another attacker.
So left back, 6, and attacker,
and a left-sided and a centre back.
Oh, and left centre back.
Yeah,
right.
we've lost Matip. We lost Thiago. We also losing someone else.
Thiago.
I think so far it's just Thiago. Yeah. But even so, you look at the defenders that we have. Look at the centre backs. You have Kwanzaa, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and Konate. Which one of them can you say are consistently fit most of the season?
And you probably
look at Konate and Gomez,
I'm 95% certain we had this same conversation last summer as well about those.
Yeah. You look at those three and you go, can you really rely on their fitness? Listen, don't get me wrong. Joe Gomez this season, I think he's actually been fit for a lot. Has Joe Gomez even had any injuries this season?
I don't think he has. If he has, it's been a little week or two out.
I think this season, but I think again that's because he's played left back and not centre back. I think left back has probably just suited his body more than centre back has. So if he continues playing centre back, then yes, maybe I can rely on Joe Gomez. But on the grand scheme of things, of what I've seen for the last 3 seasons, Joe Gomez is not reliable. I can't be like, Joe Gomez, you're my first choice and I need you to not get injured very often. That is suicide to me. Same with Konate, injury issues. Kwanzaa, not too sure yet, bit of an unknown quantity, but we don't like to put our laurels on unknown quantities, do we? That's not very smart. We like absolutes in football. So you're really looking at VVD as the one who's like usually fit majority of the time. So that means if VVD's injured, like
how old's the Virgil?
32, bro. It's 32, bro. So an injury
can't be relying on him. Yeah.
And if Virgil gets injured, bro, it's gonna take him longer to recover than what it would be when he's 28. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't realize he was 32. You know,
bro, he's 32. So it's like, I think he's 33. I don't know if he's 33 this year.
He's probably a year younger than De Bruyne.
Who's that?
Virgil.
Yeah, but Virgil's
about to turn.
Virgil's 33 in July, bro.
So him and De Bruyne are the same age then. Mad. Yeah. Didn't realise he was that old,
But no, for a centre back though, I feel like for a centre back it's a little bit easier as a centre back at 32.
It is.
From an injury perspective.
It's also what I would say is as well that you can't expect the same from him. You can expect his reading of the game to probably be better, right? You can expect his leadership to be better, but you can't expect, bit like him, Vinny, and most of the best defenders then burst forward from defence where they can read a game, step forward, intercept, and then instantly kind of press forward. They can't do that. They can't do that no more. And then you need someone like Konate that probably can do that, but if he's injured, all of a sudden it can change the whole dynamics of the team. I didn't realize I thought he was like 29, you know.
Nah, but you know what I would say though, for someone who is 32, I think his body still moves. Even after an ACL and at 32, I think his body still moves. Why it's oiled quite well in it. Pause. So
pause.
Yeah. Pause. Big pause.
I agree with you. Like I said, I thought he's 29. So 33, I think he was as good as 33. I think he is. Oh, he's done all right. He's in hindsight, as far as career-wise, he's done all right. Injury-wise, he's had one big injury, isn't he?
Yeah,
that was that ACL, isn't it?
He had the injury. He did have it. I think it was a hamstring. He had the injury last season, not this season. Gone at the end. He was injured. I think it was around the middle of the season, and he came back, and Liverpool looked a lot better. But even so, I think we're really lucky that Kwanzaa's come through. I think we're very, very lucky to have a Kwanzaa. Otherwise, you'd probably be looking at maybe 2 or 3 centre backs.
What do you reckon his ceiling is?
I think he's brilliant. I think that probably apart from the mistakes we saw at United, apart from that mistake, I think he's had a really good season. I actually don't think it gets spoken about enough how good he's actually been.
Sorry, can someone tell me? I've just gone to like the video off my Instagram and I'm seeing some knobhead called Chissy or something saying Daps stop ducking. What's the question?
Apparently you said Grealish is better than Vinny.
What? Listen, if I said that, it must have been about 1.5 years or 2 years ago. Get a fucking life, you knobhead. And as for people writing questions in the comments, the only reason I saw that is because I went to like the video. I don't read comments. So if you want to ask me a question, feel free, super chat. Otherwise, fuck you. Cool.
I'm kind of confused. Did Kwanzaa
Grealish is not better? Just to be clear as well, if you want me to answer that question, I don't ever remember saying that. Yeah. I might have said in the City system last season, he worked better than Vinny would. Grealish is not better than Vinicius. No, like I don't ever remember saying that. That's wild.
What was his name? Bro, Kwanzaa was last season. Well, when I keep saying last season because I'm still technically because the Champions League final won't happen. I still say this season. But Kwanzaa, bro, was playing under Joey Barton in League 2.
Bristol Rovers.
Something like
Bristol Rovers.
Something like that, bro. Go look where Kwanzaa was playing last season.
Hold on. Wow. Joey Barton was managing only last season.
Yeah.
I don't know how that man had a job or even has a job. There's no way that guy still has a job.
Nah, bro, his job now is just to literally say the most controversial shit that he can come up with. That's his job now.
Oh wow, man! That's
man aren't deep in where Kwanzaa got dug out from. Like pause. Like he was literally playing in the pits of League 2 where the ground was looking like Hackney Marshes and that, bro.
Apparently, Bristol Rovers fan was calling him shit. Doesn't Charlie Haynes support Bristol Rovers?
Yeah, he does. It's either them or Bristol City.
Yeah, big up Samba from Joey Barton to the England provisional squad, bro.
That's not even that bad, you know.
In a season, you know. In a season.
That's crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what I mean.
Who you got your eyes on them months? Is there anyone as centre back that you?
There's one. He's Dutch. There's one.
Oh fuck me! Dutch. Don't tell me they're gonna start doing this whole Dutch thing, aren't they?
Wait. Where do you think Somerville's from?
Oh, Monts. Guess
where the centre back they're from.
Are you man looking a sample of all the flavours to see which? Wait, there's
another one. Where do you think Gertrude, the one that's from, is Dutch? Where do you think the centre mid Coop Miners is from?
Hold on.
Dutch.
Who's that fucker that?
They're ballers, by the way.
Who's
Coop
your
Atalanta?
Wait, Van der Beek soon come.
No, tell a lie. They've already got a guy that came back. His name's Vandenberg or Ben or something like that.
Set Vandenberg, yeah.
He's Dutch.
Listen, if I see you get too many Dutch players, or not even Dutch, but just happen to play in that league, yeah, bro. I know you'll be going fucking.
Oh my god, this
I'll be honest, I'm not. I ain't sold. Listen, I ain't. Listen, yeah, I ain't. Yeah, that's not even.
The amount of shit this guy crucified me in the summer with about Dutch players, Ten Hag, and who's played in Ajax or some time in their career in a Dutch league. Wow.
Boy. Yeah.
What I'm
It's like
saying
when we bought Diaz, I was just kept having flashbacks of Mangala and thinking,
Oh yeah,
not another
you
player
linked up
from that league.
Bakayoko, PSV winger over in the Dutch league.
Bakayoko.
No, this is gonna be great. Now this, you know what?
Edwards. So the one thing you've got there is Edwards will snuff that out quickly and go nah.
We'll have to see. What I'll say is that again, just on the Kwanzaa thing, I feel like Kwanzaa's probably saved us about 60 million in the backline as it stands in it. Like I genuinely think if Kwanzaa wasn't there, you're looking at VVD and Kanate and Gomez, who's pretty much a wing back. That's all you have in your backline. That is whoa, like that's bare bones in it. So if we're looking at any sort of left-sided centre backs, as I said, I still like the look of Inacio. Like I think an Inacio could complement the left side of the centre back position. If we're looking at Gertruda, who can actually play both, I'm pretty sure he plays both.
I'm pretty sure you can play. You can play anywhere across the back four.
Yeah, so he plays both as well. So any of those two will do. Listen, if I don't really know too many left-sided centre backs anymore that are even like in demand. I don't know what you guys think, but
get Laporte.
It's genuinely looking. The pool is mad. Like I think we can't go and get someone that's going to be world class because VVD is the left-sided centre back. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, he wouldn't do that. No, you're right.
You know, it's going to have to be someone who isn't happy to be a bench warmer, but it's like you have to wait for your chance.
It's mad because when you deep, even like if you swap over to Chelsea, even Chelsea with their top,
Colwell, they go back in for Colwell.
Why not?
I don't think he goes this time. I think he's probably gonna have his starting place under Maresca. You know his number 2 is Willie Caballero. There you go.
No, fucking won us. I think. Yeah, won us a Carabao Cup against Liverpool with the penalty saves.
2015.
January. It was January 26th or January or February 2016. My daughter, it was the first cup final my daughter watched when she was like 2 months old. I remember
because they went to extra time and continued scoring extra time to level up.
Yeah.
When you deeper with Chelsea targets, they're linked to there were links. Obviously, you see Jack Grealish, links to Jack Grealish. There's links to Somerville, so that's 2 left wingers there for you. They're linked to Michael Elise. They're linked to Osimhen. They're linked to recently today, I believe, Sesko, which is another one. So that's a striker option. They were linked to Gyökeres once upon a time. They're linked to
Sterling leaving, or
there's links for Sterling leaving. There's Edison from Atalanta, who's Liverpool's also linked to as well. I'm not too sure where their back line is. If they're linked to, I don't know what goalkeeper there is that they have in mind, but I thought they might have
Ramsdale.
No, he looks like that's Newcastle bound.
Really? Okay.
You know what? I'm not joking. Yeah, when you list the kind of the names there compared to Liverpool names, you'd honestly probably pick Chelsea's list, but in a heartbeat in terms of names. But one thing you're not allowed to do is allow Jack Grealish to go to London. Now that will be chaos. You are not seeing him come in training for a week or 2 or 5.
I think the toughest thing with this Jack Grealish thing at the moment is, look, I was pretty confident he ain't going nowhere. But he might. The hardest thing I think is, I think it will cost a lot of money. And that's where I think it might end up with Grealish not going. I mean, I was going to say Grealish to Saudi Arabia. That ain't happening. There's no chance of that happening. They wouldn't want to be associated with Jack Grealish, would they? But I just think the wage he's on, the amount City would want for him. You know, I know he's 3 years into his contract. I still don't think
60 million.
They can want at least that, ain't they? Yeah, because look, the guy still is, as far as from a marketing point of view, the guy is still very big. Do you know what I mean? I know last season, game time wise, I think this summer's pivotal for him though, because I think
and Chelsea.
I think. Yeah, but I think that's the thing that would stop him from going anywhere. I think also if you're a left winger, are you looking at City at the moment? Are you looking at Chelsea and going, you know what, Sterling made the move, grass was not greener. Do I really want to make the same move? Jack Grealish, you're right, Cass, from a kind of, Cole Palmer left City because he wanted to get away from his boys in Manchester and get his head down. Jack Grealish going to London and being around a load of young lads at Chelsea is not. It's a recipe for disaster, bro. It is
That's the only downfall with London, isn't it? When you deep it, like this is what makes Chelsea. If you're a Chelsea fan, I'm sorry, but it's the truth be told. If you're gonna go London, obviously nightlife is a thing. I'm not saying Manchester's the bad.
No, but let me explain the difference.
Nightlife in Manny, correct?
No. But here's the difference. The one thing I would say is, this is what you
of London.
Like, you stay in London, right? You stay in Manchester on a Friday, Saturday night, pop in. Absolutely popping. Nightlife in Manchester, nothing better. But weekdays in Manchester, it's not the same as weekdays in London, bro. London,
weekday brunch in London,
bro. Even when I was down in Wembley Thursday, I look out my hotel window, and I'm not even in Central. I was in Park Royal. I'm looking out my window at midnight on a Thursday. Traffic ram, right? It's just different. London is. If you want to go out for a drink in London, doesn't matter what day of the week it is, you're finding somewhere popping. Whereas in all other cities, it's not the same. So I just think Grealish, if you're Grealish's advisor, you want him to avoid London, man. I hope he stays, and I hope he keeps I'll be honest with you. I think at the moment, Grealish is at risk of even losing his England spot. I would not say England is a guarantee to be on that plane at the moment. So, and I know he's been on madness the last few days, 100% confirmed. After party, walking around with a bottle of Grey Goose in his hand and that. Just so I don't know what he's going to be like when he links up with the England team. So he's an interesting one. As for Somerville, Liverpool fans, Leeds fans love him. They love him.
Good player, man. I think he's a good player. People think he's underwhelming, but I don't. He's about 20 million.
I feel like he'd suit Liverpool for some reason.
Same with a Chelsea shirt on for some odd reason as well at the same time.
I feel like I see him suiting Liverpool. I just feel like Liverpool seem to sometimes be able to get names that maybe aren't spoken about as much, and they go there. But again, I'm thinking under Klopp, this is a whole new regime, so it could be totally different. But
Champions League, that's what they can sell it. Well, we got Champions League football. But if a player's only coming to you solely based on the fact that you're in Champions League, it's probably a player that you probably shouldn't go for, maybe.
Yeah.
You want someone that actually wants to come to your club. Because I'm trying to deep on a Chelsea point of view as well. Their selling points. What's so great about Chelsea at this moment of time? And obviously, the thing is, I would see if you're a player, the only thing I can think of in my head was the most enticing thing about Chelsea, unfortunately, which is, again, what I said about today's football, is one, you're probably going to get a decent wage. Not saying a massive wage, a decent wage compared to Liverpool. And second of all,
maybe better, yeah.
And second of all, it's the players that you're currently playing with.
I think, bro, I'll think with both at the moment. I think Liverpool 100% has it. If you go to Liverpool right now, I know they've got a new manager, but you're still going to say there's more chance of challenging for trophies here and now than there is at Chelsea, yeah? Anyone that says, I'm sure there will be some Chelsea fans in the comments now saying, what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about, you're waffling. There's equal chance of winning trophies at Chelsea as there is Liverpool. I would say, yes, I get it, both of you new managers, but Liverpool still have a core squad that recently won trophies, right? As recent as this season. But I still think the biggest selling point away from money for both of them is, who else, if I go there, who else am I going to be challenging for that position? Do you know what I mean? Am I going to be a starter? Am I going to be a starter? That should be, and that's where, again, anyone that kind of goes not certain that they're going to be a starter, I question their mentality.
Why are you going? Firstly, I think anyone who signs is more than likely going to think they're going to start or at least challenge for their position. Secondly, I think the main thing is that
at your clubs, but not always. Look at Phillips. Phillips definitely didn't know he was starting for us.
I'm not saying all players. I said most players. Endo signed for Liverpool knowing he wasn't going to be the first choice DM.
Yeah,
he knew that. You know what I'm saying? He was just happy to be here. Donny was happy to
And
be
you
here.
do get them, and they're the ones that you don't want.
You need some of those in your squad, not who are happy to sit on the bench, but are still happy not to throw their toys out the pram because they're sitting on the bench and fight for their place, no matter how much minutes. Like again, James Milner's, Divock Origi's, these guys.
But again, that's you're right. But that's where you have to do the balance of the person, because you just summed up there. You've got the ones. It's on the mentality.
That's the Michael Edwards thing. They will look specifically for guys who, if they are going to sit on the bench, they need to be.
They're happy
wired
to be
like
on the bench.
James Milner, wired like Divock Origi.
And wired as in, when they do get a chance, they don't. They take it. They don't take 10 games to get up to speed. They're just this is my opportunity. Boom. Yeah, you're right. You're spot on with that.
Exactly. And then another thing that we haven't spoken about is that Liverpool are back in the Champions League. Chelsea are in the Conference League, bro.
Maybe.
It's either that or they won't be. Okay, the furthest you're going is Wales. Clap, clap. Or wait, there isn't even a Welsh team in the Premier League. Yeah, you're going Portsmouth, bro. Plymouth, Portsmouth, they're not even in Prem. What's the furthest they're going, bro? What's the furthest they're going? Brighton.
What are you talking about? Newcastle.
Who's the furthest Chelsea are playing?
Newcastle.
To the border. Newcastle. That's the furthest you man are going. If you man aren't playing conference, it's the furthest. I promise you. Apart from preseason, you man aren't flying out. You man are nationwide. So therefore, in terms of, because we can talk about projects and how far a team's going to go and potential, but at the end of the day, how long are we going to say this about Chelsea for? I said it over on Ty's channel. I don't think Chelsea's squad is as good as what people make it out to be. I genuinely think there's more mediocrity over there than there is genuine quality. Yeah, players that haven't won enough together. There are still a few heads that have won a few things in there, but I think it's just Chilwell and Reece James that are left. Do you know what I'm saying? There are still winners over at Liverpool that you can learn off of. There are still positions at Liverpool that are up for grabs. There are, like it or not, there are positions at Liverpool that can be filled. There are players that look to be maybe leaving Liverpool as well. Yes, there's a new regime, but I'm pretty sure Liverpool, even though Liverpool will regress, it's not guaranteed that Chelsea will improve. They've almost pretty much having a fresh start themselves. Again, for the third season in a row. These men owe the Premier League goals. -9 goal difference a season ago. And this season, I think just above, not too much. Their goal difference must have been like 10 or 11. You just like, man are just about breaking even, bro. Just about breaking even. So for me, I think also players play better around good players as well. I'm not saying Chelsea players aren't good.
I have to disagree with you, Monts, man. I can't lie. Big up Rants for the raid. Oh shit! I big up your
Yes, Rants, by the way. Love again, bro.
Love again, man. People,
every time, man.
Good things coming, when you don't expect it. Let's put it like that. So big up Rants. Make sure you smash the like button. And I can't lie, Rants' raid's hit though.
Yeah, they do. Rants' raid's always hit.
Compared to some other man, obviously it is what it is, isn't it? But Rants is much love.
Do you know one thing I'd say that you've got?
I was going to say one second. I don't know if you agree or disagree with me, Daps, yeah? But we've watched Chelsea a couple of times and been bored out of our nut. Yeah, I'm not even going to lie, watching him. He's like, I don't want to watch this shit. But I'm not going to lie.
The beating us.
Last 10 games, I think, I actually think Chelsea have got good players. I don't think they're actually as overrated as what you think once. I think I'm not going to cap here. I don't rate Pochettino in it. I think he's a dinosaur in this game now, and I think he'll be a good mid-table manager, right?
Never rated him.
Never rated him. Yeah.
Do you know the mad thing is? I actually always said he wouldn't suit United, or if United got him, they're getting a yes man. But ultimately, he's actually left Chelsea because he didn't want to be a yes man. I think maybe he's sick. Maybe he's just sick of being a yes man because he was a yes man a bit at Spurs, then a yes man at PSG. Then Chelsea was like, I'm fucking sick of this. I'm just not being able.
Have you ever thought of it like this as well, Daps? Yeah. So we got Once here who thinks a lot of the players ain't as good as what they think, right? And then we're looking at Poch and saying, oh, but he got them to this place and that place. And this is where our minds have been with Chelsea, right? Have you ever thought that, oh, wait, if there's a better manager that can coach and is better with youth players, might have a bit better. I think it would be hard to top the man management of Poch. But if we're talking on a tactical aspect of stuff, we also got to think on the side about, wait, what if these players are playing at a capacity where they're not actually, they're down here because of the management ain't been great. Yet if they bring someone that's a bit more tactically astute, imagine that Chelsea team can also rise up a few levels.
Well, Chelsea could. Look, I said at the end of the season that I actually thought Chelsea were my dark horse for next season. Obviously, a manager change, it throws it all out the window because you don't know what you're going to get. I still will stand by. Look, at the moment they're bored. It's worrying times. It seems like they're bored. I'm not going to learn, and they're just going to keep getting involved. Ultimately, keep buying plays and just throwing them at the manager. But I will say it's a new board, and at some point, Bowley could change. And the positive is he's willing to back. The key is it's always good when you've got an owner that is willing to back you. So that's a positive. I think another thing with signings this window is there's not a World Cup next year or a Euros next year. Next summer, there's nothing really for any players. Do you know what I mean? Right. So some players will go to a club thinking, I've got to go to this club because I need to impress in the next 12 months. No one's got that for next season. So people can take a bit of time bedding in and getting, there's not going to be that pressure on, shit, I'm thinking about my international career here. There's not going to be that. So people could look at Chelsea and go, you know what? Yeah, I know that there's still a team that's in transition, but I think it's the same for Liverpool. Someone
saying Club World Cup? What's
that?
There
is. Oh, yeah, but that sums it up. It's Club World Cup. I'm talking about international football. It's the Club World Cup, not the International World Cup. So ultimately what I'm saying is that no one's international career is going to be in jeopardy by what club they join. No one's, everyone's going somewhere knowing I've got a year to kind of, settle in. And then the year after that is the year that I'm really going to cement my international place. But I think both clubs are a bit of uncertainty. I'd just say Liverpool at the moment, you're still in a squad that's won a lot. So it's uncertainty with a group of players that track records of winning stuff. Whereas Chelsea at the moment, as a group of players that haven't won anything.
If I'm correct as well, if I'm correct,
sorry, I'm saying there are Chelsea fans out there who think their squad player for player is actually better than ours. And just because they have Poch as a manager and we have Klopp as a manager,
on footballing ability of a player, they might have a case.
This is where our team, a lot of Chelsea's players have played abroad, so I'm not going to comment on a lot of them. I'd say it's like
what?
No,
what are you doing?
Let's go through something. All right. If we can go through some, obviously, if you want to.
I played Chelsea with my B team, bro.
Yeah, but
C team.
Yeah, but at the same time,
should we go through them?
On top of that, man, we're calling Klopp washed. Stop choosing when and when to call my manager elite. They want to pick arguments when you want to call my manager elite.
But they do have good footballers in their team, though, bro.
No. I'm saying you can't call my manager elite. Now that it suits Chelsea to say you have an elite manager, that's why your players are playing better. When outside of that argument, my manager's washed and he was on his way out anyways. Which one is it?
No, but your manager was never washed. No one said that Klopp was washed. Who said that Klopp was washed?
So many men are saying Klopp was washed, bro.
No one's saying Klopp was washed. What are you on about?
Please, bro, please.
Wait, no one said. Who said Klopp was washed? By the way, if it was on a dead serious basis.
Bro, it's been a consensus that Klopp is not the same manager that he's not the same levels in it.
It's night and day. We go through all the manager list once. It's night and day where Klopp lands in on that part.
Especially after last year, bro. Especially after last season, bro. Let's not even go back there. But
should we do some comparisons? Do you know what? Actually, can I just say really quickly? I think there's some things at Chelsea firstly, Lavia. That's a massive one. If Lavia gets fit, is Lavia fit now? By the way,
Yeah.
Right, and now, but they didn't rush him back. They want to give him a proper
basically.
So,
a bit like Reece James. In a way.
So that's fine. Put Thiago's name in there. Let's do that.
I hear you, bro, but Thiago. I hear you, but Thiago's gone now.
They played the same minutes.
I know, but Thiago's gone now. So what I'm saying is, listen to what I'm saying is, there's 3 players straight away.
Right? Thiago's not technically left yet. Not technically.
Okay. If Thiago decides not to go and stays fit, you can have him. I'm just talking about Chelsea right now. Yeah. If Lavia can stay fit for a season, if Reece James can stay fit for a season, and if Fofana can stay fit for a season and look like he used to, that's a very big difference to Chelsea. Those 3 players there at their best and fit.
I agree.
And I know, Mons, I get what you're saying. That's like me saying if Phillips at City goes back to how he was at Leeds. But look, But I will be real. Lavia is a baller. Yeah, it's just his fitness is very concerning. Reece James is an absolute baller. For me, we're not going to get into the conversation much, but fully fit, Reece James for me is
he's a bad man.
there,
He's a bad man.
right?
He's definitely a bad man.
And then Fofana, I know it's going back donkey. I mean, listen, I think Ndidi was good when Fofana was last fit, but Fofana fully exactly, bro. Remember when everyone wanted Ndidi as a was it Ndidi? The Leicester DM.
Yeah.
Where he's been linked with everyone, and then he's been dog shit. But Fofana, as a centre back, when he's fit, those three can make a very, very big difference.
And one more that you haven't said, unfortunately, is Nkunku.
Oh, and Nkunku. They're four players that, if they are kept fit, they're four players that I'm not going to say they walk into any Premier League team, but I think well, they don't. Fofana wouldn't walk into any Premier League team.
Yeah, that's like telling
me a fully fit Reece James for me walks into any Premier League team.
Trust me. And if he's gone for the surgery that he's needed to and everything, it could be a problem.
I think Lavia. I think we can safely say if Lavia was fit.
I don't think he walks into yours. I don't think he walks into yours or ours.
He does now. No, he does now. As a right back, he does now because Walker's not. He does at the moment. If he was fully fit, I'd be all over reports of him coming to City, but I'm not now because of his fitness record.
Bro, as I said, we won't go into the Trent Reece James argument because I have Trent. I don't
want to go into that.
No, you don't have Trent anymore.
Because we have Trent Alexander-Arnold for our system.
All right, but then again, if we look at Lavia, I'll be real. Lavia, you'd take. Cass would take.
I'll take. Yeah, because I've said, listen, there's the reason why Liverpool isn't. It's not like this isn't the team of 2021 or 2018 where every position is locked off. Where there's no way you can go. Maybe Henderson's position is the only one you can look at and go, cool, I'm going to come in and take your place. Like there's places up for grabs in Liverpool's team.
And I'll be real with you about Lavia. Yeah, I'll be real.
I big up Boyce, by the way.
If Lavia had stayed fit, right, I actually think, hindsight, we should have kept him. The fact he's been injured, maybe not so, but I think Lavia as cover for Rodri to grow under Rodri.
Well, technically, the way your fitness team is, and right now, even the way Liverpool's fitness team are, it would be a benefit.
And I always say that because the only way that you get good enough cover for a Rodri is either a young buck that's willing to be patient and just learn, or alternatively an 8 that can do the 6 role. So I think in hindsight, we probably should have kept Lavia, and maybe he wouldn't have got. But I'm more back to Chelsea. I'm saying those 4 players alone, that is a completely different look in Chelsea.
Well, let's be real. Even if we get some evidence based after this, let me just run the super chat quickly. Big up Jono. He says obvious Monts hasn't been watching Chelsea. Palmer alone was better than all your attackers last season. Jackson outscored all your attackers bar Salah.
All right.
I mean, I'm gonna lie. Jono, I think Jackson's he's really improved.
First season.
For first season, I disrespected him heavily at the start.
Yeah, that's fine. And Chelsea this season have lost 11 games, drawn 9, and conceded 63 goals, where Liverpool have conceded 41 goals, scored 86, lost 4, drawn 10, and got 24 wins to Chelsea.
Yeah, evidently had the better
and the points difference is 19 points as well. So again, and also in the head-to-head, we beat you we knocked you out the cup with way too many youngsters on the pitch, and your manager's the one who has molester in his last name. Secondly,
you're using my line now. You're using
slipped out. Secondly, when these guys came to Anfield, and there was when these guys come to Anfield and there was no Salah in that, these men still got punched. How did these men made Conor Bradley? Why does everyone forget that? You man are the reason Conor Bradley has a career.
That's crazy.
Conor Bradley has a career because of Chelsea. All the youth have a career because of Chelsea in that final. You man gave our youth. So at the end of the day, like the thing is, everyone seems to think because Poch was this bad of a manager, he's making all these Chelsea players shit. No, there is a plethora of mediocrity in Chelsea's squad. Chelsea have about 6 players that I would say are good. Yeah, good to really good. 6 players. The rest of the squad is mediocre. And because they've been shit for 2 years, the bar of acceptability for Chelsea is lowering by the day. And that is why they deem players like Madueke acceptable to have in your squad. Mudryk to be acceptable to have in your squad. These players are not very good. The only players in Chelsea's back 9, in all of their defenders in their squad, you wouldn't take Cucurella. You wouldn't take Badiashile. You wouldn't take Disarcy. Thiago Silva doesn't play for the squad anymore. The only players you're taking is
Wait, what'd you call him? What'd you call him? Disarcy?
Disarcy. Disarcy. That's what I call him. Disarcy. That's what we're calling him. Like,
is that bad?
No one's taking Petrovic. No one's taking him. The only player you're taking is Reece James.
Back up.
The only okay, fair enough. The only player you're taking is Reece James and Gusto.
And maybe Fofana if you got fitness.
No, bro. We don't know what Fofana is anymore.
This is passionate.
He's an unknown entity.
Very passionate about this one.
He's an unknown entity. We don't know what he is anymore. You can't be, bro. Chilwell was good at the time, and look, Chilwell is crap now, bro. Chilwell is really done at it after the injuries. Really, really done at it. You know what I'm saying?
So you'd only take 2 of their defenders?
I'll take Colwell. And
I'm glad you mentioned Colwell.
I'll take Colwell as well. So I'm talking their whole squad of defenders, bro. Like, and that's 3 of them. The midfield, I'd say, is probably their strongest point. I think Caicedo's a good player. I think Lavia's a good player, but he never plays. So I can't even say Lavia because of his fitness. I look at everyone else and go, not too sure. You know,
would you have Enzo?
Looks too specific.
I ain't gonna.
Enzo's like, again, I think Enzo's a good footballer, maybe not for Liverpool squad. I'm looking at the front. I look at the front line. Sterling, as much as he's my Jamaican gunman, I have to understand it's not really that anymore. Mudryk, give me a fucking break. Just give me a fucking break, honestly. Madueke goes like, let me just not even be disrespectful and just say, yeah, it's not that either. Yeah, I'm not gonna say go do things. So you're looking at Palmer, who fair enough, top player. Even then, we don't know if he's gonna replicate that. You look at Nico Jackson. He hasn't.
Would you have Jackson over Nunes?
Stop. Like, and again, the Nico Jackson thing is crazy. How can people now be propping up Nico Jackson when he wasn't good enough for majority of the season anyway?
Would you have Jackson over Nunes?
I'd have neither of them. I had neither.
No. You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to pick one.
I'll probably take Darwin. I'll probably take Darwin just. But I think Jackson's probably a little bit. Because Jackson's a little bit better in front of goal, it's a 50-50, 51. I think Nunes will just edge it. I think they're both too. Like, I think Jackson's probably got a bit better overall. I think Nunes is probably more of a threat consistently.
What about Gallagher?
I wrote Gallagher.
Yeah.
We're not playing under Klopp anymore, so then
under Klopp, you would, innit? Because he'd suit you, man.
But look at
under Klopp, the energy would work, you know.
Look how quick it's changed. We said a certain player, then under Klopp. Do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, it's a whole different dynamic. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying Maresca is going to be anything great, but I have to disagree with you on this part, right? When I say footballers, I think they've got very good footballers, young players that you can coach to probably better than what Poch can bring them in terms of levels, right? I'm not saying. I think Maresca has some. He must be something good for them to approach him. For Pep to be him as number 2 is a big risk, and we don't know what we're going to get with this new white mega mind in charge, right? So, on that notice, I'm looking at it. I don't think they only got 6 good players. I think Levi Cole has a really good ceiling, and I don't think he's a bad player. I think it was under a poor system that had him at left back and never got to settle. I think Badiashile is a good player. I think they got maybe an issue at right centre back, but I really like Trevor Chalobah. I think he's grown. I think he's maturing. I'll take him at Man United. I think he's got they got probably the best right back options in the Premier League right now in Gusto and Reece James, if fit, of course. Yeah, and look at to prove your points, that so Reece James came back and he got whatever.
Every time he comes back, though, even last season, I think last season he came back against Brighton or something, and just instantly the guys. Yeah, the guys. Yeah,
you get what I mean? I think Caicedo is.
I always say, I think one of the
good foot.
I don't know if they have or not, but I think one of the biggest things Chelsea need is a decent fitness team. A decent fitness team there, yeah. And maybe they are addressing that, but that does seem to be. I remember Arsenal for a period had really bad injuries all the time, and it does seem to be a thing at Chelsea at the moment. Like I said, you keep those four players fit, yeah, I'm pretty certain Chelsea
There's a few players
get
that would
top
get
four.
Liverpool.
At very least, this season they would have got top four if they had them.
I don't know if you'd agree
very
on that as
least.
well. When I agree and I look at the player itself, look, I know Enzo's a very good footballer, and I don't know if it's a system thing or whether it's his injury and that, but or he's really cut out for the Premier. He hasn't impressed me personally. But if you think of players that would start at Liverpool right now, Caicedo, he starts at Liverpool. You might disagree, Monster. I know you're not his biggest fan at this moment of time, but I reckon he would really suit that team. Levi Colwill, left centre back.
I think Caicedo's a good player.
I think you need that left centre back is a bit of an easy one, in my opinion. It's a bit easy just to slot right there. I think Cucurella right now is better than your left backs. I'm not a fan of Andy Robertson no more. I think Cucurella, I'd said at the start I would take him at Man United, and for good reason, as he's come back playing inverted and stuff. He's shown that he's actually, I think he's a fantastic player personally, in it, especially when he has to do more of a defensive job or invert. I think he changed Chelsea's style in the last few games, and I think that's where Chelsea went very right with Poch. Is that little bit of cover and a little bit of legs. It's true what Ches said earlier. They invert someone, all of a sudden they have a midfield that can function a little bit more than better. Cucurella, I don't think Robert's it no more, and I think Robert still has a lot to give, though. I'll be real. I think I was harsh on him. He's still a good player.
How old's Robertson?
He's about 30, man.
Wait, when did you even change your mind? You was on this man for like
no, because you know what? Look, season's the season, innit? But now it's the summer. I can actually talk objectively if I need to be. Like, Robertson is still better than a lot of left.
I think the hardest thing with Robertson is that Robertson in his prime
Roadrunner, man,
is with ease top five left backs with
three.
Ease. Yeah,
three.
yeah. For me, Cole probably. I'd probably say Cole, Evra.
Ivanovic.
That was right. He was right back, Ivanovic.
Right back, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Cole. It's probably for me in modern Cole, Evra, Robertson for me.
Irwin. Some people say Irwin.
Yeah. If we're going all the way back, you could put Irwin. There'll be others if you're going back that far.
You know more than me.
You could definitely put Irwin in there if you're going back that far.
Even Graham Lasseau was a baller, bro.
Graham Lasseau was an absolute baller. Totally agree with you. Graham Lasseau was mint. Yeah. But in this last, last 20 years, you're talking Cole, you're talking Robertson. And when you hit that level, and then you come back from being out for a year, which pretty much Robertson was out for a year, you're instantly going to be people who are expecting you to be that same player. And that's why we're going, Robertson. At the moment, Robertson is still up there. He's still, I don't think he did much wrong for Liverpool. In fact, do you know what? I'd even go as far as to say, maybe before his injury, Robertson was making more mistakes than he's made in the last, in that 6-month period before he got injured. You could probably say Robertson made more mistakes there than he has since he's come back from injury. Yeah. Because I remember when he got injured, I said, maybe he needs a bit of a rest because he was beginning to get a bit tired because he'd been going hard for so many years.
I just found when he went further forward, because he got forward quite a lot, don't you think, once? Yeah. Well, but it's that when it's getting back, it was a bit more difficult.
One that's always been good. We always talk about like Trent as an example. Going forward, he's different gravy, but defensively, he's not as good. With Robertson's been a bit like Ashley Cole for me is the best, yeah. So I'm not saying he's as good as Ashley Cole, but with Ashley Cole, you say he's good going forward as he was going back. With Robertson, I kind of think the same. Robertson was very good going forward, offered so much going forward, but also was so solid defensively. So
yeah, but even then,
but at that age, at 30, you definitely need to replace him because his legs are going to go soon.
Tiang Yang, Virgil van Dijk, the £75 million who won Liverpool the cup. He was the one that scored the header, innit? Yeah, he was. Yeah, of course he did. But even then, look, the whole point as well.
75 million
even to wash Chelsea, right? Even to wash Chelsea, it's a bit like Man United, washed, but they still get to finals. Even if they win them or not, they still get there. Do you know what I mean? And I think the same way with Liverpool, right now, and the same way with Chelsea. Chelsea are just a striker away. And maybe you could say a
fitness team away.
Wait. Hear me out. Hear me out. One sec. Yeah. We can't ignore their trajectory for one. And second of all, right? They might not even. By the way, they might forfeit the Conference League. They might even do that. Yeah.
But what trajectory are we seeing? We're not seeing anything.
What trajectory are you seeing? It's night and day what we saw the start of half of last year compared to the 2020.
No,
it's night and day.
No. The trajectory is we finished 12th. They were cracked all season, and then this next season they were 11th for most of the season. And when everyone was on holiday, they won 5 to 6 games in a row. Now all of a sudden the narrative's changed. Why do you think they still wanted to manage Klopp?
Narratives can change. It can change.
Over 6 games.
Bro, it's been more than 6 games. Because if we've gone on 6 games, they drew with flipping Sheffield and that, man. But I'm just saying.
No. We heard what Dan was saying. We spoke to the Chelsea fans, bro. It was a lot of results in that 2024. And a lot of the results in that were
games, but we talk about progress.
Should have lost that they drew, and games they should have drew that they won. And especially some really bad losses in there as well. So a lot of the draws made that record seem a lot better than it was. Now, at the end of the day, we can talk about growth from what we've seen, but it's hard for the players to grow the way you want them to grow because the manager keeps changing every 7 months.
Yeah, but I hear on that consistency.
So how are the players, bro? How are players like Madueke supposed to hit the so-called ceiling that people present that are there? That's there. Because that ceiling doesn't look like it's going to happen. Because another manager can come in and go, "Well, you're."
Because I'm still in. All right, cool. I hear what you're saying. The manager is obviously the big part, and that's obviously the biggest risk here. That's the biggest risk. But right now, in the way I look at it, I think there's a lot of good footballing players there with a lot of good ceilings. Maybe a lot higher than others. Some maybe just good ceilings, right? But the way I'm looking at it, right, I don't think it can get any worse than last year in terms of somebody. I think a lot of these players, and it's the same squad. They're not going to get rid of a load of players, right? In my opinion, they're going to keep this same squad. Last year, before they cut half the squad and bring in a bunch of new players in the summer, because that's exactly what happened. So that means you have to gel as a new squad. I believe personally, maybe I am overrating Chelsea that little bit, and maybe I'm probably putting a little bit more faith in terms of what they've got and what the manager they're bringing in, then maybe more than others. I believe they are a finisher because they create lots of chances. I believe they are a finisher in terms of a number 9. Even a hold-up striker does them bits. I think there are a few injuries of keeping consistency in some of those players, and probably a top centre-back, right centre-back. I think Petrovic is decent, but I think they're 2 positions away and from going play 1 game a week again, from looking like an actual really, really decent outfit. And they can obviously fill in the gaps here and there for what they need. They need a consistent left-back, obviously. I think Maatsen, I don't know if that's been triggered yet, but he might fancy Maatsen. If that hasn't been triggered, oh my days, you got a player there all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, this squad is looking actually quite fearsome on paper, though. But I do believe from what they created last year, they were always missing a bag of chances still. A bag of chances. And you just think, where's that finish at? Because Jackson is not that guy, but he can show up. But that's what I say with Liverpool.
I think that's why they need to get their managers sorted ASAP.
Even Liverpool are a few players away. Liverpool are a few players away from being a really good outfit, regardless of the manager. They still got a really good outfit.
We're a few players away from being a top-class, world-class team. They are a few players away from just being a good team.
What minute's that?
That's
one.
I think what he basically said is a few players away from doing a quad.
No, it's not even that, bro. Chelsea, you see Liverpool's floor and Chelsea's floor are 2 different floors. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of get what I'm getting at here. We're already a good team. Chelsea are not a good team. They are trying to be a good team. We are trying to be a very, very good team. We're not at the same level, bro. We're not at the same level. The level we're trying to get to is back to Manchester City's level. Chelsea
back to.
Yeah, we're trying to get back to your level, bro. We haven't been at your level since 2021.
I've got another argument.
2019.
I've got one more argument for you. Then
if you're ever at our level, you know.
I've got one more argument for you then once after you finish a tangent, if you want.
Definitely above your level in 2020, but go on.
My argument so when Liverpool finished in 5th of that season, last season, right?
Yeah, that was our worst season.
Yeah. Wait.
Our worst season, and we finished 5th, by the way.
Yeah. No, hear me out. All right, cool. You can say the same pretty much in this. I remember your argument through the summer being that when Man United's finish was awful towards the end, and there was signs that it was going really wrong, and that there was warning signs basically. But you mentioned that with Liverpool, there was a great run, and the back of that great run, you're more likely to start great, and you was really convinced. And while I wasn't convinced by it because probably I looked at your league finish and thought, no, fuck it, I don't know. Liverpool look like they're going to be a finished outfit until then you revamp your midfield, but you was very confident in it, and so was other Liverpool fans. Now, in the same breath of Chelsea, in their worst finishing being 12th, and then now they finished 6th, which no one thought they were going to do, right? And I know they changed the manager. That's the difference in this whole argument. You could also say, look at the way they finished the season. They even got to a cup final. You could even say their trajectory is nothing less than being anything great in terms of what they could potentially do next season. We saw Arsenal go from 8th, 5th to 2nd. And I'm not saying that Chelsea's got the same kind of border backing as Arsenal, but they surprised everyone. They surprised everyone just like that. And you can't not use that same argument for Chelsea. They might have it where it just clicks when they've got some sort of players. And funny enough, they got a same guy that's come in called Arteta, who had no background and came in and hit the ground running. So
yeah, but Chelsea
it can
are
work.
not Chelsea. Again, that is not Chelsea are not Arsenal. They're not Arsenal, and they're not. Like, I'm sorry,
I'm
you
not saying-
can't.
Arsenal props from you, Monts.
No, like, because I'm talking about loyalty towards a manager, bro. Chelsea haven't shown me, like, if they go and keep the manager for the 5 years, even if they kept Poch for 2 or 3 years, maybe you would have seen a slight more improvement, because guess what? That improvement came over time. Yes, it took a while, but it came over time. Now, at the end of the day, when you look at levels, this is just Chelsea have signed a championship manager, and man are going on like they already have more. Like, for fucking cheek. If you went and signed a championship manager, man are fucking laughing at you, bro. You've signed a championship manager. Man are talking about possible and attractive outlets. The only attractive outlet is the moolah. It's the moolah and nothing, and the size of your contracts and nothing more.
But it still makes it. But but that still can make it appealing to the project.
And I can admit that if you think the team are willing to spend more and invest more, then I 100% admit that Chelsea are more likely to spend more than Liverpool. I can give you that one. But at the end of the day, when Liverpool have when we have our worst season and our players are seeing us this and that and whatever, we finish 5th. That was our worst season. Yeah, that was our worst.
Can I ask you a question?
Chelsea's best finish under this new regime is 6th.
Can I ask you a question?
The majority of the league.
Can I ask you a question?
Actually, both of you can say I'm hurt, but
can I ask you both a question and the chat? Is it harder to win the Eredivisie or harder to win the Championship?
I haven't won either.
No, which one do you think is harder? The Eredivisie seems to be disrespected so much, or the Championship? 24 teams in the Championship, by the way.
I think the Championship's always hard as well, especially if you've been with the Championship. It's why I respect Leicester for winning it this year. Going down and coming straight back up as champions, that can be difficult. That can be very difficult. I think the Championship is definitely underrated. I'm going to be honest, Cass, you know I don't watch fucking the Dutch league, bro. So me to sit here and have a view on it would be wild. It'd be me literally chatting out my absolute fucking ass, bro. Like, I don't watch it. So
I'm just saying.
Whereas the Championship, like, I do occasionally watch some Championship games, and I've been there. Like, trust me, we went down to the Championship and got relegated 1 tier further, because it can be you don't get the same protection from the refs. It's a very, very different type of league. So
exactly, yeah. So I think it is I think it's something that can be gloated about a little bit. Same way, obviously, I'm not. By the way, this ain't a shine or a shame on Slot, because he's done it in Europe. Like, he's clearly good in Europe, man. Clearly, he's got something going on in Europe. It suits Liverpool, doesn't it? But I'm just saying, in it, maybe we shouldn't be under. You know, what's that word again? When you underrate a certain manager or overlooking him, I don't want to overlook him too tough, because if there's certain clips, if we stick to what we say and we're going to start clipping and all this kind of stuff, I don't really want to be in a bag.
You, yeah.
I don't want to be on a fence, but I don't want to be in a part where
all I can go on is
laugh at it.
My boy from Holland, who from Feyenoord rates him, but obviously, of course, he would.
Rotterdam, yeah.
Well, he literally, but my boy literally supports Feyenoord. He's a season ticket holder at Feyenoord. He rates him highly. But I think, unfortunate for him, bro, he's bald and he's Dutch. Yeah, and your manager's bald and Dutch, so he's. It's kind of a good thing, because everyone's expecting him not to be good just based on your fucking manager, right? I don't know. I'll be honest. I said it at the back end of last season. Edwards is a big deal. Getting Edwards back.
Edwards is a big deal.
It's a big deal. I always say it at City. Like, one of the reasons why. Obviously, I am not happy that Pep's leaving, but I've accepted that Pep's leaving. But one of the things where I'm not too worried is because I know the board, the chairman, I know they'll do their job right. With Edwards, I think he will do his job right. And I think he will have had a say in this manager, and he must have seen something. I can't comment on him because I haven't watched him enough. So, whereas by the way, I'll say the same about, actually, no, I have seen Chelsea's manager. Has that been confirmed? What's going on with Chelsea's manager, just quickly? Is anything progressed on that?
5-year deals. Here we go. It's already a here we go. Yeah, Maresca. It's a here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man laughed at me for Slot. Don't kill me, man. I get
But yeah, Tiang Yang, to be fair, we used to say Chelsea are playing well but can't finish their dinner. I agree with Cass. They have good footballing players. Big up Tiang Yang. Also, make sure you smash the like on the video. Make sure as well that you're subscribed if you haven't subscribed. If you're in the comments, but you're a bit shy, you haven't commented yet, you're kind of wondering, oh, wait, what's this channel? Then here we are. So that's that. We're going to be trying to provide debates and more debates as well. We'll be getting to do watch alongs. I would shamelessly plug at this moment of time, but clearly you lot don't want to listen, innit? If you want to see us three do watch alongs at some point, we do on a different platform because it's easier platform.
Either way, we're back to 2 shows a day. Come rain, sleet, snow, sun,
probably more
fever.
than that
at minimum of 2 shows a day will always be happening throughout the summer. And when the when the Euros do start, we will not be becoming a solely watch along based Euro based channel. We're going to still keep an eye on the football that we love, the football that we're missing. 11 weeks till the Charity Shield. I'm already missing Premier League football, man.
Look, here's a link here. If you look at the Never a Foul in there, go sign up to that. It takes literally 2 seconds, and no joke, you'll find myself doing a watch along. You'll find thing you do watch along. It's more interactive for you boys and girls in the chat. So it's just a better platform. Broccoli's and anything else that you want to align with these days. But yeah, go sign up to that if you don't mind. If you haven't done that, it's just a bit of awareness. I'm not even trying to sell you nothing. It's literally there, referral code NAF, and that's all you got to do is sign up. It's like, okay, then it will notify you when we do watch alongs. Most content creators are going over there now. That's the thing. Most content creators are moving off YouTube 100. Onto other platforms because the interactive.
But we're not moving. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
But for watch alongs, yeah. And also, can I just sell something as well, please?
Of course you can.
Everyone, can people follow me on Instagram, please? MCFC Daps, DAPS. I just want my Instagram to go up a bit more because I'm just, do you know what? I haven't been on screen for a while. We got Tox out here. We've got, Monts out here with 1 million on TikTok and that. And
hey,
talk about basically, bro. So I want some Instagram, MCFC Daps. All you trolls, yeah. I don't read comments on here much. Sometimes I have a little look and I know that my work is done when I see all of you fucking losing your heads. If you actually message me on Instagram and you're not a knobhead, I will message you back as well. But any knobheads, I'll just...
every morning, comes down the stairs. He's like, we saying or whatever, morning. And then he's like, this Arsenal fan, guess what? Like,
it's usually Arsenal knobheads as well.
Always an Arsenal
fan. They hate
or Liverpool.
Liverpool not so much anymore, you know.
By the way, this stream's gonna go over to Monster's stream, who's going live now with his big 6 bands crew. So make sure you go over there, support him. The way if you come over from Rants and you support it here, it's the same way you can go straight over there and support Monts at the same time. Look, content's gonna be thin for a lot of content creators, but guess what?
I got 1 follow. I love that.
Hey. But yeah, man. In a bit, and we'll be back tomorrow for probably a transfer, some sort of transfer news anyways. Hopefully Ten Hag's been sacked by then. Sorry, did I say that out loud? My bad.